Hello, my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And if this is your first time, welcome. And I just want to say hello, you beautiful souls out there. I hope all of you are doing great. And I hope you were able to get out in nature somewhere. This is in my area. Yesterday was so beautiful, even though where I went there was a lot of snow. But it didn't stop me. My sneakers did get soaking wet. They were still not all the way dry today. You know, I put them on the heater in my apartment and I took a walk and I'm like, I guess they're not quite dry. So it's a beautiful time of the year. This is, I love springtime. I love all the seasons though. You know, winter I have, I'm not crazy about driving in it, but you know, because the way drivers are, not all drivers, there's some very inconsiderate drivers out there that always want to run you off the road with a four-wheel drive. It seems like they would have to have it's always the guys, it's got to be guys, you know, really that do this with a four-wheel drive pickup trucks, you know, or diesels, you know. You know, anything with the four-wheel drive, you know, where they almost run you off the road, but the beauty of winter, it's like a cleansing time for me. It's like, it feels so clean. It covers up all the dirt and all that stuff. So I do love winter. And I really try so hard not to complain when I am frozen in the winter. You know, I get cold easily. It's something, I don't know. It's just the way I am. I've always been like that where, you know, it takes a while for me to warm up in the wintertime. That's why I made so many videos with headbands. You know, I got to have my ears warm. And anyway, you know, you're probably in another area. A lot of you are from different countries, you know. So today wasn't bad out. You know, I can't complain. It's just that I wanted the sun to come out a little bit more. It's just like there's a lot of clouds covering it up. But I did get out. You know, that's why I want to encourage you to, you know, get out. I'll be hiking a lot. I'm going to be looking for new hiking places. I did put a new video out yesterday, so which is kind of funny. YouTube has a way of selecting when they want me to put a video out. I'm like, YouTube, I did not want that video out. You know, like yesterday, I wasn't planning on putting 2 videos out. So I don't know what's going on with YouTube with the scheduling and stuff like that. And anyway, I really want to let you know, if you want to get in contact with me, you can on Instagram at 1995 Starlight or on Facebook at Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. You can like this video, you know, share it with a friend, and you could subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell. I'm going to get one of those ding 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 ding. I had one, but I gave it away. So, you know, just that way, then you don't miss a thing. I know, like, with all the people that I subscribe to, I have a lot of people. I'm going to be putting some new ones out soon on Facebook, because I want to share those people with you. That way, maybe, you know, maybe they have something that will help you out. And everybody's different on everybody's at a different growing level. You know, there's some people that are way more spiritual than I am. You know, I'm like, wow, they blow my mind, you know. And I love it though. Sometimes it might be a little bit more than I can handle. You know, that's why you got to find where you are, you know, like where, you know, like what works for you. You got to find what resonates with you. And sometimes, you know, this happens where you might watch a video and you'd be like, what are, you know, like I see that there's a lot of videos on this topic, but, you know, like, I don't see it. I don't understand. What are these people even talking about? You know, and that was me years ago. I was hearing a lot about energy shifts. And I know this is not even this is a freebie here. This is not even what I'm even talking about. You know, I do talk about different things sometimes in my videos. It's just that's the way it works. So, yeah, so sometimes you might find something that you don't resonate with, and that's okay. You know, it doesn't make the person wrong. You know, like a lot of people don't know what a spiritual awakening is, so I made videos on that. And you might be like, that lady's nuts. That's all that is. She's got to get her medications, and no, that's not what it is, where, there's some people that are ignorant about those, and I'm not saying that you're stupid. It just means that you're not, even the doctors are like, scratching their heads and, like about what happens to these people. And, there's other doctors that might be more aware of what's going on with their patients, depending on how much are they studying and, their patients and stuff, what kind of, like questions are they asking. I know, like, all the times that I was in and out through my spiritual awakening, there was a lot of questions I thought that they should have been asking, but they never did. I was like, I thought they would have wanted to know all that, all that other stuff. And I noticed that a lot of times the doctors are, they're making money, they're making really good money out there, and they don't take enough time with their patients to really get the whole scoop of really what is causing whatever going on in their life. So, just because you watch a video and it might be over your head, you'll be like, but there's so many people, this lady, that guy, they're all talking about this stuff. But I don't get it. I don't understand. It's just kind of like the same way as a child. I got almost a 4-year-old, not quite. His birthday is going to be in October, but he's 3.5. And just like a little baby, like when they start growing, they start getting vocabulary, and the better they get, the more vocabulary, they get. And so they're not going to get a lot of stuff when they don't know how to talk at first. They can hear you, and to me, it's awesome. Like when the little kids, I never quite understand how they learn to talk. And it's a beautiful thing. Like my grandson, I haven't seen him in a while now, and I'll be having him over this weekend coming up. And I can't wait to hear all the new words that he's going to be saying, And it's such a beautiful time, like that's a favorite time of mine is they're going to have, it's my first time. It's so weird that my son and my daughter-in-law or my grandson has never been in my apartment. And they've been married for years. Don't ask me why they never came to Mom's house, but this will be their first time. I decided, hey, I'm going to give it a shot, invite them over again, see what happens. And finally, they're actually going to go to their, my son's going to actually go to his mom's house, So it's going to be a trip because my house is very decorative. So like I was saying with little kids, like even going to church, a lot of kids are going to church as Christians, there's a lot of stuff people were talking about in there. Does it mean that what they're talking about is wrong? Well, they're at a certain level, and then there's a higher level after you get out of it. It was like that with me before. They said people that go to church, they fear hell, and the ones that are spiritual, how does it go? Now I got to remember how this goes. Are the ones that already been there, So that's exactly, I was like, yeah, that's funny because when I was going to church, I feared about going to hell, and it was like school to me. I learned what I needed to learn. I learned, and now I know, well, I don't want to go to church anymore. I realized that I needed it at the time. That was fine at the time. But, now I'm growing. It's like you're kind of getting graduated from high school and now you're going to college, and now, so, you might see a lot of weird stuff on the internet and not understand, like I was going through this before about shifts, energy shifts. I was going through stuff in my life trying to understand what happened to me, and then also about different dimensions. I believed in different dimensions, but because there's times that I felt like I was not really here. At times I felt like I was kind of in two worlds, where I was somehow another here, but felt like I was somewhere else in another, like another dimension, so I definitely believed in other dimensions, which now I'm actually in the 5D, the fifth dimension, not like a lot of people in the 3D where that's the fear frequency, where the 5D is the love frequency, but it takes time to get, like to shift everything, like with your thought process and everything, to shift to a higher dimension, so so now, like when you're in a higher dimension, you're going to really want to be around the people in the higher frequency. You're not going to really want to be around the people in the 3D dimension anymore, because it's a fear. A lot of those people are in the fear frequency. So anyway, now that I said all that, which that was not even what I was planning on talking about. So really, I got a really juicy story for you. This is a true story. This actually happened through a spiritual awakening, really. Actually, it didn't happen. I got to cut this back. It actually was around the time I had one. So I actually have to sorry about that. I was getting two stories. I got two great stories that happened at the same place is what happened. But anyway, I have a really funny story this is a true story that really happened last year around the same time that I had another spiritual awakening. It is about using sage. And I have a package here. I'll just show you. Whoops, I don't know if the camera. Yeah, so this is sage. And, they have instructions in the package. And now I actually found a place where I could get it cheaper, So I'm going to, I don't know why I didn't buy it that day. I have a hard time spending money, really. But, yeah, so anyway... last year I was working on my 5D fort, and that's a fort outside made out of sticks. I don't use hammers. I just made a fort out of rope, and it took me from spring all the way till summer. So a lot of funky stuff was happening. My daughter, I actually had two 5D forts last year. So I started at one place at one point, and then somebody found it, and and I'm like, they actually was like really into black magic, which I knew some of black magic. I had a relative that was really into that and would actually do stuff to me, such a great person. They actually did spells on me before, so so anyway, I did learn stuff about those people putting spells on you, where this person actually, I did make a video, but I never did send it out, is that this person that I met that found my fort by accident, here he's going around in the woods looking for stuff, and he just happened to, it's kind of weird how he was drawn to find what I'm trying to hide. I'm trying to hide from people, not let people know it was there, because I know how some people are. They find a fort, they want to tear it apart. You don't want to go in there and hang out, but you want to tear it apart, So I've had that happen in the past where I've had other forts that were really great, and then somebody found it and they decided, hey, let's tear this fort apart. Why? But, people are out there like that. They're out there. And so anyway, this guy found my fort, and the problem is that I wasn't able to get any work done. He wanted me to be a student. He wanted to teach me stuff. We did talk about stuff, and he got information from me. He wanted to know my sign and all that stuff. And of course, people like to do that so they can use spells on you. Know they want to get that information to study you and know what kind of person you are. So anyway, he kind of was a little too much. I was getting frustrated because I wasn't getting any of my work done. I had to go to work in the morning for my cleaning business, and then, get out in nature and work on my fort, where now my time's being wasted because he wants to talk. And I was trying not to be rude, but anyway, I ended up one day, it's funny, on a Saturday, I didn't have to go to work, and I worked my butt off. I made videos, but I never sent these out either. I made tons and tons and tons of videos that never got sent out. So anyway, I did make a video how I actually moved I had a lot of stuff. Lots. Like probably 15, bags full of arts and crafts stuff and all this stuff, and then I rebuilt my fort anyway. So anyway, it took me, I had to carry all of my stuff without anybody finding me, because I don't want nobody knowing where I'm moving. So it's kind of funny. I had to move all of my stuff from one spot to another spot, and because first I had to find a spot where I can have a new 5D fort. It's a place to hide away. If somebody's bothering me, I got a place that I can run and hide, or if it rains, I can go in there and I won't get wet. I've done this my whole life. something that my family knows me about. So normally when I have a fort, I don't really want anybody to know about it unless they're my family and I know I can trust them, you know. So anyway, I moved all my stuff there. I can't believe it. It took me the whole day just to get, you know, like, and then I had to paint the trees up a little bit, kind of markers, you know, to find my way to where I was going to have my new 5D. I don't even know how many minutes. It's like, that was probably a good 15-minute walk back and forth carrying all this stuff. It took me the whole day to get all my stuff just situated. And then I covered it all up with a tarp. Then I started making a new fort. And I didn't even get to make a new fort, actually. You know, I had all my stuff all in bags, all covered up with a tarp. And one day I went to my fort and I can't believe it. It took me, you know, it was only a week after I moved all my stuff. Somebody found it. I went back in there and they uncovered the tarp. They threw everything, all my brand new stuff all over. I had paint, spray paint, like $50 worth of spray paint that was probably up there. You know, all this brand new stuff. I was going to decorate trees and make it look really cool. And they did. I even had pot up there and a bowl up there. I didn't even care if they stole that because, you know, like it was only a little bit. And the bowl had a hole in it, so it didn't really matter. And a grinder. I had that up there too. So anyway, they threw everything around. And they must have put a spell in my area where the fort was. And I didn't know, but there was two guys that actually knew each other. And I didn't realize that they were hanging out at my old fort, and they actually knew each other because somebody destroyed my other place, and so you know I went and laid out in the sun for a while, and then when I came back to my old fort, I was spray painting the roof. You know, had all these plastic bottles. I was going to do a beautiful rainbow like roof for my fort, and it was all these plastic cut, you know, bottles that I was spray painting and cut, and it took a long time to do this, and they were air drying. Then I went and I laid out in the sun for a couple hours, came back, and by that time I was only out in the sun for a couple hours, somebody came through and destroyed it. So I didn't realize that these two people knew each other, and they do witchcraft, black magic or whatever. So anyway, somebody found me at my old new fort. And I even carried this huge, it's a water filter. It's the frame of it, of a water heater that I found, and I painted it all up, and I made it all pretty looking, and I put 5D on there. I dragged that through all the way to my, you know, that was hard to drag that baby all the way from one fort to the other fort. So I had everything all set up, and then they, like I said, they threw everything all over. And then I said, you know, I'm not moving again. I'm going to deal with this. You know, I'm going to, you know, somebody found me. Darn it. You know, it just was so quick. So anyway, I moved all my stuff, you know, where I was going to have the fort, you know, and had everything covered. Then I started working on the fort. And I did that through the whole summer. And then one day, well, this is weird, when I would bring food up there all the time for the animals, the squirrels, you know, and birds or whatever, you know. So I was bringing popcorn for the squirrels and the birds, you know, because they ate that too. And I brought bird seed for the birds, you know, so they had a lot of bird seed. And I raked out a whole area. And the weird thing is, in the beginning, how this all started, so somebody had to do a spell in my area. You know, you're probably wondering, how do I know this? I'm going to let you know. So when I first started feeding the animals, the weirdest thing is that first it was the red squirrels that came to my 5D fort, and they were eating, and they were doing their thing, and I had my music up there. I used to get high up there and smoke my pot and work my butt off up there, working on I had to work on the frame of the fort, get that ready. You know, I had the whole summer. That's where I spent all summer, spring, you know, last year, and besides working, you know, so that was my my playtime. You know, it's like Starlight's gonna go and play in the woods, you know. And so I did this every day, you know, like unless it rained, I didn't go up, you know. So I was noticing some weird things with these red squirrels. There, one particular, I really don't know anything about red squirrels. So anyway, I was like, what the heck is going on after a while? You know, like I had bird seeds in one spot, all raked out, like where I always had to rake it so that way the leaves, the birds could get to all the seeds. And another area that I raked out, and that was all where the popcorn was laid out. And so that way then the squirrels, they could go and, they ate the seeds and the popcorn anyway, so they can eat whatever it's almost like a buffet out there, eat all you can eat, and that's what they were doing. And it was so weird. After a while, with the red squirrel, well, I noticed there was one, I thought it was the same one. So this one red squirrel, I was like, what the heck is up with this one squirrel? Like, like it had an attitude, and it actually wanted to hog all the food up on the other little red squirrels. There was ones that were littler, like the baby red squirrels, and the bigger ones, a mixture. I don't know how many of them were out there, a good 5 or 7 of them out there at my fort eating. Off and on, different ones come and go, and then gray ones started coming out to my 5D, and so I have the red squirrels, the gray squirrels, and birds, all different kind of birds eating the bird seed. And so anyway, I couldn't believe it. The squirrels, it took a long time for the red squirrels to get brave enough to come near me, like near the fort. They wanted that food. They would probably find out when I was, when I left, and they got a good habit of like, hey, this is pretty cool. Every day there's food out here, so they got, like more friendlier and closer. And they got so close at the very end of the summer. And the funny thing is that those red squirrels were, like, really small compared to those, there was different sized gray squirrels, and I couldn't believe it, but there was this one that just kept on like attacking either his own family members, the red squirrels, or it would actually chase and run around crazy after the gray squirrel and yelling at it and stuff. And I'm like, so I decided I had enough of this, like I brought this food up for all my friends, not just for that hog. That one wanted to hog all the food up, and I just, like something seemed a little off all this time. I never studied red squirrels, but I've always been around. I've had pet gray squirrels before. When they're babies, they don't care. They're not afraid of you. So gray squirrels, you can really make friends with them. So that red squirrel, I'm like, I'm gonna go over there and I'm gonna have a talk with that red squirrel. And I did. I went over there nice and slow, and the gray ones kind of ran away, because they're not used to me at that point. And I went, and that red squirrel that was yelling and, bitching and attacking all the other squirrels, even the gray ones, as he seen me coming, and, like he had food, and he ran up the tree, and he was up higher than me on the tree, and he's looking down because he didn't really want to get away from that food. And so it's so funny. I'm looking up at that red squirrel, and I'm like, hey, I used my voice in a certain way, like, hey, now, I brought this food, not just for you. I brought this food up for all of you. There's plenty enough food for all of you. You don't need to be hogging all this food up. And that little red squirrel was running his mouth. He went, no, 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 no. Like, are you talking back at me? I'm feeding you. You don't want to bite the hands that feed you, so it was so funny where that squirrel kind of went up the tree a little bit further, and as I walked away and got back to work, I just wanted to let him know, stop doing that. You're not being very nice to the other ones, and it was so funny how that red squirrel would come back down the tree, and then eventually the gray squirrels and all the other squirrels were coming back. Everybody's eating again. They were eating up like you wouldn't believe it. And so one day I did know about sage. Somebody actually did this to me. They thought if they it was kind of funny what they did. Somebody that I met for a date in sight is that I refused to have sex with him, and so he was into the sage, and so he tried to sage me to think that it was going to get rid of negative energy. That way I would say yes. So anyway, that is just a quickie there, a story. He never got it anyway. It's 'cause so funny. But anyway, I decided to go out and because I felt like there was a spell. I couldn't figure out why this one squirrel, like I always had to get on that one red squirrel. I believed it was only one, and I couldn't figure out how come this one red squirrel, all the other ones got along great, and there was little ones there, little red squirrels, and I'm like, ah, so I did. I went out and I got some sage. Whoops. And what I did is, because I really felt like there was a bad energy in my fort, is I lit it right near the walk area, and what I did is I lit it and I was praying, like for protection, that no unclean, and I just kept on going around. And I really don't know a lot about sage. I just was like using it and believing in it. I believe, and so anyway, I went around the whole area of, like the fort was here. I went in a big circle around that whole fort with that sage, making sure I had a lot of smoke all the way through, walking all over, doing all that, and praying, saying no unclean spirit can enter in this place, in this space. And I actually was asking for Archangel Michael to help me out, that he would put a shield of protection, that no unclean spirit can enter in this space. Would you believe, after I did this that one day, I didn't even realize it right away. It's funny. The next day I came back up, brought my popcorn, brought my bird. It was a daily thing that I did. I always had to rake up an area, because leaves would fall down and stuff, or things would get around, like the wind would blow leaves around or whatever. So it was a habit of me always going in there. First I got a rake up this area for the bird seed, rake up this, and then later on I ended up mixing it all, because I'm like, mix all the popcorn and the bird seed all in one area. But I had a nice space for all the animals to come, and because I wanted to try to get them closer to me, like I was trying to work on the squirrels, that I wanted them not to be afraid of me. So I did. I got the popcorn closer, and then I brought really some goodies up there. They really liked it. Peanuts. I brought a whole bunch of peanuts in the shells. Without it is something I didn't know. They eat the whole entire thing. They eat the shell and the peanut, as I was observing them up there. So anyway, I was doing this, and it might have took me a few days to realize, I'm like, huh, what is going on? It's so crazy. Would you believe, after I did that with the red squirrels, I didn't do that with the red squirrels. After I did that with the sage that one day, and like I did it all around, all through that whole big circle in my space, even on the walkway, the trail that takes me out to the bike trail, is I had sage all over. I walked backwards, making sure I got that baby, all that smoke all over. And I can't believe it. Ever since that day I used that sage, I never saw another red squirrel. Ever. The whole rest of the summer. The whole spring and summer. Never saw another red squirrel enter in that space. Isn't that mind-blowing? I just was like, wow, I wanted them there, but I don't know what happened. Like, I wanted them there, but I didn't want the fighting going on. I didn't want this. I couldn't believe how devilish this red squirrel, like how, like it would actually, it was kind of cute, but it wasn't funny in a way. It was kind of funny, but it wasn't. How he really chased after that gray squirrel. The gray squirrel's bigger. I don't know why that big squirrel, the gray squirrel didn't give it back or anything, but it was weird. Never again did I ever see a gray squirrel, not a gray squirrel, red squirrel ever enter in that area the whole entire time. So really that stuff is, like very powerful. And I did have Archangel Michael with me that day, because I really do believe the guys, the two men that was out there that found my other 5D4, and then they stole so many things. You know, they took my chair, and then I had a table that I made out there. They must have liked it. They probably were trying to do spells on it, which I learned also is that if you don't believe in it, it don't work. And I did. I prayed a lot out there when I was out there that I prayed like if they did put a spell on me in this area, that return it to the sender. Return it to the sender. You ain't got no power on me. You ain't got no power on me. I know that. You know, so really you don't want to be afraid, you know, like of black magic, you know, like if you believe in it, you know, like, and you let your mind believe in that they're going to cast a spell on you, then yeah, it's going to happen because you're believing in it. But they ain't got no power on me. Get the heck out of here. What are you doing? You can't touch me. I'm not affected by your spells, you know. But those squirrels, those red squirrels were somehow or another, you know. I don't know how to explain what happened, but that's exactly what happened. I do have another crazy story that happened out there. I did tell my son. My son was blown away. I did have some interesting things I mean, there's one story I told my daughter that happened that's when I actually had the spiritual awakening out there. That was tripping. I felt like a character from the Bible on that day. And then I will make another video about another topic. I just got to figure out how am I going to be able to add it in. I do have some, it's going to be a safety tip. On the do not do's, because Starlight learned. I can't believe this stuff that could have happened up there. And then it's so funny, when I was having this horrible crazy stuff that was happening, I did watch I'm amazed by this beautiful soul out there, but you got to check this. I'm not kidding you, but you got to check this guy out. Infinite Waters. He blows my mind away all the time, in a good way though, not in a bad way. I had some crazy stuff, unreal stuff that happened up there at my 5D4. I was there by myself, you know, like most of the time up there. And I did go through some horrible stuff up there. I don't really want to say anything. I'm going to have to save it. I'm going to just tease you with this right now. But after what happened that day, up there by myself up at I mean, it was, if I didn't control something, I could have been in a lot of trouble. So anyway, is that I got done working up at my 5D4, and then I'm like, every morning I watch a Infinite Waters Ralph Smart video, and here he had a video. I don't even remember what the topic was, but it was about getting out in the wilderness and spending time by yourself. And I swear, it's like, where does he get this stuff from? Universe, did you tell him what happened? Because he said, yeah, you know, a lot of, when you go out in the wilderness, you know, and you're by yourself, you know, a lot of scary stuff can happen to you when you're out in the wilderness and you're trying to get, you know, like alone time. I'm like, you got that right. Wow. I mean, the stuff that happened, I just was amazed. I'm all in one piece. I controlled the situation, but I will have a story on that. So you gotta watch all these videos in order to figure out what video that's the title, you know, because I gotta think of a good title for that baby. You know, like I gotta think of I can't right now think of the title that I want to put, but that was a crazy story. I got some awesome camping stories too that were mind-blowing. Some people were like, wow, you know, just the visual of the stuff that happens is so amazing. So I really hope you understand that sage, man. If even in your house, I gave some to my daughter, you know, to like to help her to, you know, like to, you could even use it on yourself, you know, like get rid of negative energy off you or in your apartment or in your house. But with that, you always want to have like especially in the house, and out in the woods, really. That's a tip on really kind of something that almost happened. I mean, it happened, but I controlled the situation. So anyway, is that with sage, you really want to have something, you know, like I'm gonna open this up. It's not gonna. Yeah, no, I'm not gonna open it. But anyway, because the time is ticking. But anyway, when you it's a whoopsie. when you actually have this, you want to have like in my house, I would use like a saucer. That way you can have the saucer there, and then you could just kind of use it, because you don't want to catch your house on fire, using sage, because sometimes the stuff might fall. You don't want it on your carpet, stain up your carpet or burn your carpet or anything like that. And even out in the woods, like leaves are all around. You don't want like a big piece fall down and catch the forest on fire or something like that. So that's a little tipper on my story. But anyway, it does get interesting sometimes. What you never know what you're going to experience. But yeah, Infinite Waters, Ralph Smart. I don't know. You're definitely an alien. I got that. I know I got part alien in me, but that's why I think I get along great with you. So anyway, I really hope you love this video. You can like it, and you're gonna have to stay tuned to find out what happened out there. I got a couple of stories coming up, the spiritual awakening, but I got other ones that I want to tell before that one. It's going to take a while for that one. But anyway, I love all of you. You can like this video. You can share it. You can actually also subscribe. That's free. You can always get into contact with me at Instagram at 1995 Starlight, or on Facebook at Kathy with a K Dingman Starlight. And anyway, I love all of you. Hey, go get some sage out there. They got all different kind of scents out there. I didn't know that. So I'm going to go to that store again. I did do my 5D fort already. I went and did that one day. Get clear out, because they went and destroyed everything. Or, the sage it was strong the whole time. I think after a while it wears off, because it lasted from spring all the way up until like beginning of winter, and then these people came back and destroyed my place, so now I redid it, to make sure because I want to rebuild. Now I got to rebuild my fort again and get everything picked up. They threw all my stuff all over. So anyway, I love all of you. I'm not going to let people like that scare me. I am not living in that fear mode, I'll kick their butt. I got some power in it. I got some power here. I do. I got the universe. Freaking bam. Don't want to mess with me. Anyway, I love all of you. I'm not no macho chick, but there's something that did happen. That's a spiritual awakening. That's why I'm laughing about that one. But anyway, I do love all of you, and I'm laughing so hard inside. But you enjoy your day or night. This is Starlight. Love and light. Peace.